Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know when people say parody has become reality? For the most part, it's a hyperbolic comment. Things are so crazy, they may as well be a parody. But in the modern day and age, as absolute insanity has essentially become the norm, the status quo, it's no longer a hyperbolic statement and more just a statement of fact. It's a matter of fact. Back in the day, if you wanted societal parody, you'd tune into The Onion, The Babylon Bee, or maybe SNL when it was once funny. Nowadays, you just turn on MSNBC. MSNBC these days, no joke, feels like sometimes some of these segments feel like literal SNL skits. And now that I've laid out the presentation, let me just show you. It's going to be pretty self-explanatory. I think you're going to get it right away. This stuff, it feels like some sort of sick joke. Let me show you what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. Again, no commentary, no intro to this clip, no context. Just look, or I guess listen if you're listening.
You know, as I remind our viewers all the time, Chris and Andrea, I sat through 2 E. Jean Carroll trials and 2 cross-examinations of E. Jean Carroll, and I have to tell you, I agree with Sue wholeheartedly. This was very much what I'd call a nuts and sluts defense. There was a portion of the cross-examination where Susan Necheles was focused on the fact that Stormy Daniels now claims that she is a medium and that she communicates with dead people and has participated in a TV series about the paranormal where she explores things, including the fact that at one point an ex-boyfriend of hers was inhabited by spirits. She was mocking Stormy Daniels. She wants the jury to think Stormy Daniels is a liar and she is crazy. And she also wants the jurors to judge her for her occupation. And Stormy Daniels gave no ground on that. As Sue just said, she might be an exotic dancer, an adult film actor, but she was very clear when Susan Necheles used the phrase selling yourself to describe what Stormy Daniels was doing on a tour where she was making appearances at clubs. Stormy Daniels set her straight. I was not selling myself. I was dancing. The implication always was, I am not a sex worker and I don't have a sign around my neck that says consent given freely to everyone at any time. Right. She was a woman who seemed pretty self-possessed, in control of her own body and wanting to maintain, essentially, to quote Pretty Woman, I say who, I say when, and not, Donald Trump was mine, that I was for the taking by this man. I increasingly see what Trump did to Stormy Daniels, and she used the phrase, what happened to me, more insidiously than I think I ever have. It is a reinforcement of the predator frame that the Access Hollywood tape introduced. It brought into full vision a very new Donald Trump, not just a Donald Trump who was womanizing and liked beautiful women and was one of the world's most eligible bachelors, as David Pecker described him, but a Trump who knew what he was doing and wasn't just hitting on people, but making it impossible for them to escape or at least downright uncomfortable. And Stormy Daniels today, I agree with Sue, the temperature was down, but the self-possession was up and she would not give ground. My favorite answer that she gave was when Susan Necheles basically said to her, you make things up like this all the time. You've acted in over 200 pornographic movies, and those are all made up. And she said, if I was going to make this up, I would have made it a much better story. And I don't know how people in the courtroom reacted, but in the overflow room, there was like a, ooh, like almost like sick burn, because Stormy Daniels was in control.
What am I watching? You cannot possibly take this kind of commentary seriously. They're presenting it as if the Trump team is crazy for suggesting that someone like Stormy Daniels not be taken seriously due to her past in particular industries, and of course that it's horrifying that they're casting her as crazy when she's going on talking about how she's a medium, some sort of adult star wizard that communicates with dead people and had possessed her ex-boyfriend. They just gloss over that, gaslighting you, saying you're the crazy person if those facts raise any alarm bells, and then they continue to try to paint her as a strong female symbol, a symbol of female empowerment. She wasn't selling herself when she was literally selling herself. I mean, for Pete's sakes, there was a good 2 years where she was everywhere. All over the internet, there were ads running of Stormy Daniels, her webcam series where she introduced herself as, "I'm Stormy Daniels, the woman you keep hearing about who's suing Donald Trump. Come give me money. Here are all the services that I provide." I mean, come on. You know, obviously Stormy Daniels has a history, a track record of doing things that can financially benefit her, despite the, let's call it, ethical concerns. And the idea that that isn't relevant, that's not relevant to her character, her person, or relevant to this case, is complete BS. Bullish, let's just say that. It's a giant feminist copium fest. They'll say anything. I mean, they're willing to say and defend anything and rebrand it as female empowerment because apparently that's what advancing female rights looks like. Just blindly defend all women, from E. Jean Carroll to Stormy Daniels to Christine Blasey Ford, and smack down any legitimate criticism as misogynistic attacks. Give me a friggin' break. The analysis coming out of MSNBC is so shocking, it's so clearly unethical, it's so clearly wrong, but it reads as parody. I don't think anybody's watching these segments going in unsure about Stormy Daniels as a credible witness and coming out after listening to this stuff totally convinced that Stormy Daniels is credible and is to be believed and is a serious person. Nobody. What normal, rational human beings are doing is watching this and scratching their heads, wondering what they're watching, and most likely just laughing. It's legitimately funny, but talking about possessing her ex-boyfriend and communicating with dead people. Okay there, Stormy. And when that's not the talking point, it's what we covered yesterday, where another MSNBC clown went on to describe Stormy Daniels' simple presence in the courtroom as nun-like.
Well, the excitement and anticipation in the room hit a new high at 10:32 a.m. She entered wearing all black, as if on her way to a funeral. The loose-fitting, plain black clothing draping from her shoulders to her toes suggested the modesty of a nun.
It's a freaking SNL skit. These are supposedly the rational adults in the room, and we're the nutcases, right? That's what they always tell us. But I don't see people on Fox News ever saying anything even remotely close to what we see in terms of this insane rhetoric coming out of MSNBC contributor and hosts' mouths. Stormy Daniels apparently is Mother Teresa. She is not to be questioned. She's the new Stacey Abrams, I guess. The new Democrat deity taking on Donald Trump. Like I've been saying in the previous segments, pretty soon they're going to be calling for her to run for president. Oh, she should definitely run for president. She has superpowers and can speak to dead people. Not to mention she can possess people. Imagine Stormy Daniels possessing Xi Jinping. She'll bring global peace and prosperity to the world. Okay, I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm going in circles. There's really not much that I think really needs to be said. Yet again, on display, the insanity of the leftist Democrat media apparatus. It's gotten to a point where parody is real life, and what we should be taking seriously, what should be concerning, is just funny, I guess, at this point. Oh, just another day of the lying leftist media saying the most insane crap, destroying the nation one segment at a time. I guess we're just laughing along the way to the demise and collapse of Western civilization. Hee hee. They don't call it Clown World for nothing. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.